Did you guys see what Candace Owens just released on the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni case? Because I think it actually just confirms that the whole reason that this is all an issue is because Ryan Reynolds, this is what I think Ryan Reynolds thought that Blake was
Stuttering's something that people still tease and bully, and it's something that's an easy target for that kind of thing.
Were you teased?
What's that?
Were you teased?
Yeah, for sure. And then I just kind of stopped speaking as much.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's part of the journey. It's just, and that's really what I tell everyone, is that it's not all of you. It's just a part of you, and everyone's got something. This just is your thing.
Wait, y'all didn't know Emily Blunt and Blake Lively are basically sworn enemies? And no, it's not over a movie role or a fashion campaign. Word is Blake was allegedly setting her sights on Emily's husband, John Krasinski. Yep, forget stealing scripts or hijacking brand deals. This time Blake was allegedly trying to steal Emily's entire life. And let's be real, what's not to admire about Emily? She avoids messy scandals, her career is thriving, her family is rock solid, and she doesn't need to stage perfect mom photo ops to stay beloved. But insiders say Emily snapped when she learned Blake was thirsting after John, and she's not stopping until Blake's carefully crafted Hollywood image comes crashing down. The big question is, why would Blake risk her picture-perfect marriage and A-list lifestyle chasing another woman's husband? And where exactly does Ryan Reynolds fit into this mess? Let's unpack the chaos.
Lively pull a Hailey Bieber and stalk Ryan Reynolds before they started dating? Because Blake Lively's Van Zandt company was actually formed in 2008. 2 years before the rumored affair with Ryan Reynolds when they met on the set of...
According to insiders at All the Tea, the whole scandal exploded at a private Chanel dinner in Paris back in 2022. The event was ultra-exclusive, but what happened there had everyone buzzing. Witnesses say Blake Lively was way too cozy with John Krasinski, laughing at his every joke, leaning in like they were the only two people in the room, while he smiled back just as warmly. The vibe wasn't just friendly, it was flirty. And where was Emily Blunt? Right there, watching it all unfold. Photos from that night showed Blake and John looking inseparable, while Emily was mysteriously absent from every frame. To make matters worse, those photos have since vanished from the internet, fueling suspicions that Emily went into full damage control. Sources claim Emily lost it after the dinner. Confronting John about his interactions with Blake, that's when the story really unraveled. Insiders revealed Blake had been unhappy in her marriage for some time, and when John gave her attention, she took it as an invitation. She allegedly began blowing up his phone with late-night calls, sending flirty messages, and conveniently appearing at events he attended. The signals were impossible to miss. Blake wanted John, no matter the cost. Even worse, she was willing to torch her friendship with Emily to make it happen. Before this, Blake and Emily had actually been close, their bond formed through their husband's friendship. But once Blake crossed the line, that trust shattered, and there was no going back.
Valentine's Day, obviously. Any Valentine's Day plans for you?
Blake's taking me out for dinner.
No.
I'm sort of my husband's away, so are you going to take me out for dinner?
That felt nice when we
I'm
were
going to
holding
crash
each other on
I'm
that red
gonna-
carpet.
It felt kind of cozy. I feel like I want to join this date night.
I'm going to crash her.
Back in 2018, Blake Lively and Emily Blunt were Hollywood's golden pair of best friends. Alongside Ryan Reynolds and John Krasinski, they were the picture-perfect double-date set. Dinners, house visits, red carpet laughs. Their bond seemed solid, and the internet loved it. One moment especially stood out. At a Michael Kors fashion show, Blake and Emily were photographed laughing hysterically beside Zendaya. Rumors swirled that they were mocking her, but Emily later clarified in a 2021 Vanity Fair lie detector test that the joke had nothing to do with Zendaya. Blake, dressed in a bold red trench coat, was worried she might be flashing cameras, and Emily was just helping her laugh it off. It was proof of how close they were, sharing inside jokes in a city built on fake friendships. But somewhere along the way, that friendship soured. According to insiders, jealousy poisoned the bond. Blake reportedly began envying Emily's seemingly perfect marriage, and admiration turned into something darker. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds wasn't making life easier. Sources claim he has a massive ego and resents his wife outshining him. He allegedly pressured Blake to step back from her career, wanting her to play stay-at-home mom while he basked in the spotlight. Old blind items back this up. One from 2012 described a TV actress blindsided by the reality of marrying an A-list star, suddenly forced into hiding at home. Another from 2015 alleged Ryan humiliated Blake in front of friends, berating her for hiring a dog walker. When Blake's career began picking up again, the tension with Ryan escalated. That's when she reportedly started noticing how differently John Krasinski treated Emily, with kindness, patience, and support. Friends say it planted a seed of longing that quickly crossed into inappropriate territory. Blake allegedly began leaning on John for emotional validation, then later repeated the pattern with Justin Baldoni during It Ends With Us. Justin's lawsuit claims she crossed multiple lines, inviting him to her trailer while breastfeeding, rejecting the film's intimacy coordinator, and calling him late at night just to grab his attention. When Ryan confronted her, she flipped the narrative, accusing Justin of pursuing her, something insiders insist she had no intention of doing until Ryan pushed her to make it formal. One crew member even posted online that everyone's blaming Blake, but the real manipulator is Ryan Reynolds. And let's not forget, this isn't Blake's first scandal. Whispers about her hooking up with Ben Affleck during The Town in 2010 have never fully died down. At the time, Ben was married to Jennifer Garner, but insiders insist the chemistry spilled off screen. A 2015 Blind Item claimed a mostly TV actress carried on a secret fling with Ben for months, and many believe that actress was Blake. Reportedly, she would have traded places with Jennifer in a heartbeat if Ben had left her. Then there's the messy start with Ryan himself. Rumors have always suggested their relationship overlapped with his marriage to Scarlett Johansson. Sources allege Ryan began pulling away from Scarlett the moment Blake came into the picture, sneaking off to take calls, making excuses to be gone, emotionally checking out. One Blind Item even claimed Scarlett suspected those late-night calls from his mom were actually calls from Blake. Eventually, Ryan ended things with Scarlett and went public with Blake, but the cracks in their relationship have never really disappeared. From the outside, it looks like the fairy tale she wanted, but behind closed doors, sources say Blake cries herself to sleep, wondering if the fame and success were worth the cost of being Mrs. Reynolds.
Do you guys see what Candace Owens just released on the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni case? Because I think it actually just confirms that the whole reason that this is all an issue is because Ryan Reynolds, this is what I think Ryan Reynolds thought that Blake was cheating on him. Here's the thing. If you don't know what Candace just released, she basically said that an insider scoop on the set of the movie It Ends With Us released to them that the issues started when Ryan randomly started showing up on set and demanded to see the dailies, which is all the footage that they shoot that day that, like, we wouldn't necessarily see in the movie, but, like, they would see it, right? It's like all the footage that they would go through before they make the movie. Why would he want to see that? Why would he want to see that? Apparently, purportedly, him and Blake were also fighting in the trailer. I would never, like, project or say my opinions on someone else's marriage, except in this case, we have an issue of a woman who is purportedly accusing someone else of sexual harassment. And it could be that Blake actually maybe had kind of a weird thing with this guy. And Ryan was like, this is weird. This is weird. And to save face, she was like, he sexually harassed me. And so he went on set and demanded to look at the footage because that is actually the only thing that makes sense. And my mouth is on the floor.
The honeymoon phase between Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds didn't last long. From the beginning, insiders say Blake was plagued by insecurity. Their marriage, already built on shaky ground, quickly turned toxic. Blake reportedly obsessed over Ryan's past with Scarlett Johansson, growing jealous anytime her name came up. And Ryan didn't exactly soothe her fears. He never fully convinced Blake that chapter was closed. A 2014 Blind Item paints a chilling picture. It described a once rising TV actress with an A-list movie star husband spiraling into paranoia when he received a screener for a film starring his famous ex. Instead of brushing it off, she allegedly exploded, screaming, accusing him of wanting Scarlett back, and working herself into such a frenzy she was spitting and hyperventilating. From there, things only unraveled further. Friends say the couple couldn't even handle basic interactions without outside help. Taylor Swift often played mediator, stepping in to smooth over fights. Emily Blunt and John Krasinski would host double dates just to keep the peace. Even Justin Baldoni's wife tried arranging group outings to diffuse the tension. But ironically, those setups backfired. During these cool-off sessions, Blake allegedly started catching feelings for John Krasinski, admiring how tenderly he treated Emily and wishing Ryan gave her that kind of affection, and Krasinski wasn't the only target of Blake's wandering eye. When Justin Baldoni cast her in It Ends With Us, she reportedly became infatuated with him almost instantly. His lawsuit claims she invited him to her trailer during private moments like breastfeeding, refused to work with the film's intimacy coordinator, and called him late at night, sometimes at midnight, just to reel him in. Ryan wasn't blind to any of it. When he confronted Blake, she denied everything and flipped the script, accusing Justin of chasing her. Sources say she hadn't even planned on filing a formal complaint until Ryan pressured her into it. Then came the real twist. An insider spilled on social media. Everyone's bashing Blake Lively lately, but the real villain in this saga might be Ryan Reynolds. This story has way more layers than anyone realizes.
Do you guys see what Candace Owens just released on the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni case? Because I think it actually just confirms that the whole reason that this is all an issue is because Ryan Reynolds, this is what I think Ryan Reynolds thought that Blake was cheating on him. Here's the thing. If you don't know what Candace just released, she basically said that an insider scoop on the set of the movie It Ends With Us released to them that the issues started when Ryan randomly started showing up on set and demanded to see the dailies, which is all the footage that they shoot that day that like we wouldn't necessarily see in the movie, but like they would see it, right? It's like all the footage that they would go through before they make the movie. Why would he want to see that? Why would he want to see that? Apparently, purportedly, him and Blake were also fighting in the trailer. I would never like project or say my opinions on someone else's marriage, except in this case, we have an issue of a woman who is purportedly accusing someone else of sexual harassment. And it could be that Blake actually maybe had kind of a weird thing with this guy. And Ryan was like, this is weird. This is weird. And to save face, she was like, he sexually harassed me. And so he went on set and demanded to look at the footage because that is actually the only thing that makes sense. And my mouth is on the...
Allegedly, Ryan Reynolds went full power play behind the scenes, pressuring top talent agency WME to cut ties with Justin Baldoni. According to insiders, Ryan delivered a brutal ultimatum. It's us or him. The stakes? Drop Justin, or risk losing Blake, Ryan, and even Taylor Swift, 3 of the agency's crown jewels. Faced with that kind of threat, WME made its decision fast, but Blake may not have anticipated her past coming back to haunt her in such a public way. Emily Blunt, Justin's wife and once Blake's close friend, is reportedly furious and not planning to let Blake skate by after nearly wrecking her marriage. And really, when did it ever become okay for a friend to flirt with another woman's husband? Sources say the tension behind the scenes is boiling over. Blake and Ryan have allegedly begged Emily to stay silent for now. Why? Because if she speaks out, her testimony could blow their shaky case against Justin wide open. The bigger question, should Emily finally break her silence? And how does it look that Blake's reputation is circling back to the same ugly label, serial side chick?